Hello everyone. When I first watched Stargate Atlantis, I found it difficult to believe that a race like the Wraith were able to defeat the Ancients, who are more advanced and have been around a lot longer than the Wraith. In this video, we'll be analyzing the different reasons why the Wraith won the war against the Ancients, and what did the Ancients do wrong that made them lose the war. Now let's get some background on how the Lantean-Wraith war started. 900 years before the war, the Ancients were doing experiments to find a way to immune themselves against the outrageous bug, but it was obvious they were trying to find a way to make themselves immortal if they could not ascend. For their experiment, they gathered 100 males and 100 females from around the galaxy. Through their experiments, they created the first Wraith. Towards the end of the experiment, 99 of the men and 9 of the females survived. The Wraith were able to use their newly found ability to telepathically communicate with each other to escape. Before they escaped through the Stargate, they were able to grab a ZPM and weapons that were designed against the Wraith. After their escape, the Wraith were hunted down ruthlessly by the Ancients. Over time, the Wraith grew, and 900 years later, they attacked the Ancients. Their cause for aggression was for survival and for revenge. The war lasted for 100 years. In the beginning, the Ancients were winning due to their technology. The Ancients had crystalline technology, while the Wraith had organic technology, which was inferior to the Ancients. A single Ancient ship was able to take on multiple Wraith ships, destroying them and barely taking on any damage. Due to their victory, the Ancients got confident and their arrogance grew. They carelessly went deeper into Wraith-controlled territory without worrying about being attacked. This led to the Ancients' first major mistake. At great cost, the Wraith were able to overwhelm an Ancient ship and were able to get their hands on a ZPM. The Wraith were able to use a ZPM to power a cloning facility to build an army to overwhelm the Ancients. This new massive army that the Wraith built, they were able to push back the Ancients. Due to their carelessness and their belief in their power, the Ancients stretched themselves too thin, which made their ships an easy target. The Wraith were attacking everywhere. Even though the Ancients had the technology to win every single battle, they didn't have the numbers to defend every planet and outpost that was being attacked. It doesn't seem like the Ancients came up with a new strategy to fight the Wraith. They relied on their technology and their scientists to come up with a new weapon to help them in the war. The Ancients suffered the same way the Asgard did, which was unable to come up with a simple strategy to defeat their enemies. They relied too much on their technology. If the Ancients retreated and only guarded needed territory, this would have allowed them to gather information. Through the information, they would have found the Wraith's weak points and attacked them to slow them down or even put them in the defensive. Their main focus would have been finding the cloning facilities and destroyed them. This would allow the Ancients to regain their advantage and start pushing back the Wraith. It seems like the Ancients were too busy trying to develop a weapon to destroy the Wraith instead of coming up with an effective point of attack. If the Ancients were attacking key points within the Wraith's territory, such as destroying the Wraith's supply of ZPMs and their cloning facilities, this would have slowed down the Wraith and forced them to take more defensive stance. Another big reason why they lost the war was their approach when creating the Insurians. We never got a complete reason why they stopped experimenting and creating the Insurians. They only said the experiment went too far and they never became the weapon that they desired to create. It seems that the Ancients wanted nanites to stay in a molecular level and destroy the Wraith more like a disease. It seems like they didn't want the nanites to take the form of the Ancients and fight the war through ships. They wanted them to stay in a molecular level. If this was the reason, I think the Ancients lacked the foresight on what they created. The Insurians cannot be used for food by the Wraith since they're not organic, and they could replicate themselves faster than the Wraith could clone themselves. The Insurians had ancient technology, and they had the numbers to destroy the Wraith. If the Ancients used the Insurians during the war instead of destroying them, they could have won the war. After the war, they could have got rid of their aggression, which made the Insurians so deadly. By doing this, they wouldn't have to worry of them going berserk. The Ancients already programmed them not to attack them, so they wouldn't have to worry about that. Of course, it's not a perfect plan, but I feel like it would have been a better one than what the Ancients came up with, which was a bunch of technology that was never completed on time, stopped in mid-development, or failed to stop the Wraith overall. The Ancients never came up with an effective way to stop the Wraith within the 100 years of the war. It shows that they were used to being a superpower and they haven't been challenged in such a long time that they lost the ability to innovate. Them leaving the Pegasus galaxy was probably the smartest thing that they did during the war. I wonder if it was ever an effort for the Ancients to return to get their revenge or to reclaim their lost territory. Maybe there was, but I was not able to find that piece of information, so let me know in the comment section below. The Ancients got to their final stage of evolution, which shrunk their population, which made it difficult for them to fight a civilization that was growing. I'm curious to know your thoughts about this subject, because there's many reasons why the Ancients lost the war, and there's tons of ways that the Ancients could have done to win, but they missed every single one of them. If you enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification bell to keep yourself updated on my channel. Also, don't forget to check out these other 2 videos that are on the screen. Don't forget to follow me on my socials if you enjoy my content. Thank you for watching Utopian Broadcast, and I'll see you next time on my channel. Thank you.